welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a what I eat in a day, getting back on track. Might be useful for people who are literally starting from the beginning and want to eat in a more healthy way. And all the recipes should be relatively easy, and all of them are anti-inflammatory. To the best of my knowledge, they're all gluten-free, dairy-free and vegan. I recently have had the most amazing 3 weeks away. I spent 2 weeks in Thailand and 1 week in Greece, and whilst I was there, my kind of eating healthy and nutritional foods, that took a back seat, which is totally fine. I just wanted to go out and enjoy the experience and eat foods that I wouldn't normally eat. For example, Thai food, the cuisine is amazing, and whilst it was full of loads of fresh seafood, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, a lot of their traditional dishes are cooked in quite a lot of oil, so it's kind of different to how I was eating at home, but I don't mind, and I wanted to go out there and actually experience things rather than stress about food and what I was eating. And I think that it's actually quite nice to have a break every now and again. It's all about balance at the end of the day. So whilst those 3 weeks were absolutely amazing, I'm really excited to be back home, to be making my own food and to get some nutrients back into my body. So one thing that I was doing over summer was intermittent fasting. So I've started that up again. When I was intermittent fasting, I felt amazing. I had so much more energy. I felt like I had mental clarity. I felt lighter. I didn't feel bloated. It just made me feel really good. So I'm not going to be showing any breakfast today, but I thought I wanted to show something. So what I'm going to do is make a turmeric latte. Turmeric latte is actually quite fitting for the weather because I've come home and I've basically been plunged into the depths of winter. Although it's sunny outside, it is freezing. So the turmeric latte is quite a kind of wintry drink. It's got ginger, it's got cinnamon. It's quite nice to drink, and I'm going to show you how to make it. So for the ingredients, you need some almond milk, which I don't actually have, but it's really simple to make, so I'm going to make my own almond milk first. And then it's just obviously turmeric, ground cinnamon, ground ginger and maple syrup and some black pepper. Black pepper helps with the absorption of the anti-inflammatory properties of turmeric. I think it's called curcumin. That's the properties in turmeric that makes it really anti-inflammatory. So black pepper helps your body absorb all of that goodness, so just put a crack of that in. So making almond milk is so simple, it's a lot cheaper, and it lowers your ecological footprint, as you can get, I have a kilogram of almonds and I could make, I don't know, 5 to 10 bottles of almond milk if I wanted to. Less plastic, and yeah, everything's better if you can make it at home. But anyway, so I've got 1 cup of almonds and 2 medjool dates, which I have pitted. Ideally you need to soak these overnight, but if you're like me and you forget or you don't get around to it, I just boil the kettle a few times over it and let it sit and soak for a couple of hours. So I'm just going to drain both of these and put them in the blender. Almonds and dates are in there. I'm just going to add 5 cups of water. And then to that, I'm just going to add a little bit of sea salt, and I'm going to add a dash of vanilla extract. So round 2 worked. Yeah, so I just kept that going for a few minutes, and now I've got a special nut milk bag, and now I just need to strain it. I don't want to carry on. So you just want to squeeze out as much of the milk as you can. Oh, there you go. That's not bad for just basically a cup of almonds and a bit of water, is it? So to make a turmeric latte, or some people call it golden milk, we've got, well, this is an essential. I call this a zhuzh, it's not called a zhuzh, it's like an electric whisk. So you need one of these, almond milk, ginger, cinnamon, turmeric, maple syrup and pepper. And for these, I'm going to do like 1/4 to 1/2 of a teaspoon of each, and then a teaspoon of this, and then a crack of this. And also you need some hot water. Ginger, cinnamon, I put quite a bit of cinnamon in because I love cinnamon. And then the star of the show, turmeric. It has such a strong, potent flavour, so putting like that much in. Gonna fill it up to about here and then start mixing it all together. Oh, already it smells so good. There we go. There you go. That is really high anti-inflammatory drink. Cinnamon also has like antibacterial properties, and I mean, you said it smelled like Christmas. It does. Cinnamon, ginger. I have to give that a go. It's really nice. Oh, did I add maple syrup? I'll add, are you sure? Add a little bit of maple syrup now. So next I'm going to show you how to make kale crisps. I used to make these all the time. I haven't made them in ages, but they're so easy, and obviously kale is really good for you. So I'm going to make some kale crisps to have with my lunch. For lunch I'm just going to roast some sweet potato, some beetroot and some chickpeas, and make some kind of salady Buddha bowl kind of thing, full of goodness. And instead of dousing everything in olive oil, I'm using this fry light. This is coconut. I actually did want the olive oil version of this, but they didn't have it. So I'm just gonna, spray everything in that, put some spices on it and chuck it in the oven. I'm gonna do the chickpeas and the kale for about 15 minutes, maybe the chickpeas 20 to 25. And then these are gonna go in for half an hour. It looks like there's quite a bit of kale here, but it all shrinks in the oven. And the trick is to massage the kale, put the oil and the spices on and then give it a massage. So I'm using garlic salt, just a bit of that. Oh, quite a bit of that. I'm going to put on some smoked paprika, and then I'm going to get my hands dirty. By massaging the kale, it actually kind of starts breaking it down and makes it easier to digest. So chickpeas are really good if you're a vegetarian or a vegan and you're worried about protein intake, because they're really high in protein for a plant food, and they're rich in fibre, and they're basically really good for you. So again, I'm just going to put some spices over the top. So that's done. I'm ready to go. So I chopped up a sweet potato and a few baby beetroots. Beetroot stains everything, so watch out for it. So does turmeric actually as well. Okay, so I am going to put in some chili flakes. I'll try and go easy with the garlic salt, but it does come out quite. And then on the fries, I'm going to do some hot paprika, and that too. And I love cumin and sweet potato fries or wedges. It is honestly delicious, so sprinkle that over the top. And that is all ready to go in the oven. I've preheated it. I think it's on about 220 at the moment. So for dinner, I am going to make the yummiest lentil curry soup kind of thing. It's quite high in protein per portion. I think it's something like 350 to 60 calories, and it's got 16 grams of protein in. And it's just, it's really, really tasty, and it's such a simple meal to make. You just have to basically cut everything up, put it in a pan and leave it. So it's really simple to make, and it's a meal that you can make a big batch of, and you can have it, you can freeze it, you can have it for the rest of the week. So it's quite good if you don't have that much time, or you just want to do all of your meals in one go and have it done for the rest of the week. So what you need is some dry red lentils, a large onion, some turmeric, because I'm going to sneak some of that in, some chili flakes, some coconut oil, some coconut milk. I'm using reduced fat, some tomato puree, some vegetable stock. These Knorr stock pots are really good. Some spinach, tin of tomatoes, ginger, garlic, coriander, and then you can use whatever curry paste you want, or spice. I've just got this tandoori paste because I think it makes it taste really good. So I just pulled out the kale and the chickpeas out of the oven. Like, listen to that, lovely. And if you are like me and you love a bit of a crunch, like crisps, this is a really good healthy alternative. So good. I have just chopped up a large onion, a large angry onion, which made me cry a little bit. So I've got one large onion, 2 cloves of garlic, and a thumb of ginger, and I'm now going to, it is called a thumb of ginger, and I am now going to start frying this off in the pan. So now I'm just going to add a couple of teaspoons of this tandoori paste. Okay, and now I'm going to add a tin of tomatoes, and then a tin of coconut milk. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to add in my other spices. So, as turmeric is such a potent flavour, it's good to add it into recipes that have that are quite tasty by themselves, because it kind of masks it. So, wherever I can add a bit of turmeric into recipes, I try to do that. So, just add a bit of turmeric in, and I'm just going to do some chili flakes. Mix that in together, some tomatoes, and a tin of coconut milk. Whoa. So I'm just going to add a bit of boiling water, and then I'm going to put in one of these stock pots. You can use any stock, you can even make your own stock. I just draw the line at that today. So I'm just going to leave that on a medium heat until it comes to the boil. I forgot to add some tomato puree, so I'm just going to add about 1 to 2 tablespoons in. Don't really measure it. So it has just reached the boil, and now I'm going to add 1.5 cups of lentils. So now it's just a case of letting it simmer until the lentils are cooked. It should take about, oh, the lentil just flew on me. According to the packet, it should take about 15 to 20 minutes. Obviously keep stirring it, and if you need to add any more liquid, add some more boiling water to loosen it up. But it is as simple as that. Right at the end, we're going to take it off the heat and add a few large handfuls of spinach, which is a really good way to get your greens in, because obviously spinach just shrinks down to nothing when it's hot. So it is time to assemble my lunch, my Buddha bowl, as they're called, which is just basically a bowl crammed full of nutrients. For it, I'm going to have a base of spinach, and then I'm also going to put on my roasted beetroot, roasted sweet potato, roasted chickpeas, and some kale. And I'm also going to have some fresh tomatoes. I grew these tomatoes by myself. Well, my dad helped me. But yeah, I've got so many tomatoes to use up, and it's coming towards the end of their season. So I'm going to use these, and I'm also going to make a dressing to go over the top. I'm making it with apple cider vinegar and flaxseed oil. Flaxseed oil has loads of omega-3 oils and 6 oils, and it's really, really good for you. Apple cider vinegar can kill pathogens and free radicals in the body, so that's really healthy for you also. And it's like a lower fat than kind of a salad dressing that you would buy in the supermarket, which is crammed full of salt and sugar and loads of rubbish. So, spinach, I'm just gonna wash it first. Right, this is my raw washed spinach. And then yeah, I'm just gonna assemble things how I want them.
You need a little sweet that's finished for that.
Well, first I need to make my dressing. So to make my vinaigrette, I'm just gonna do equal parts of flaxseed oil to apple cider vinegar. So I'm just going to do maybe like a tablespoon of flaxseed oil and then a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. I actually despise the taste of apple cider vinegar. I don't like it at all. I love vinegar, but I don't like apple cider vinegar. I think I did like half a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. And then I'm just going to add some oregano and some pepper and a little bit of salt and give it a mix. I'm just going to pour it on top. And that is my lunch. You can make it the night before. You can make, like I've got a lot of leftovers, so I can definitely make a lunch out of it again tomorrow. So it is worth just putting in a bit of time. I mean, I'd say I've made all of the recipes within an hour to an hour and a half. So if you set aside a couple of hours on a Sunday and just start meal prepping, that sets you up for a really good week. And yeah. So I've just turned the heat off. I actually ended up adding some more of the tandoori paste. I think it's really important when you're cooking food to taste it as you go, and I quite like bold flavours, so I often add in way more than a recipe says. So yeah, it's important to understand how you like food, understand food, and just taste everything as you go, so you don't get left at the end of the bland meal. But anyway, now I'm just going to add a couple of handfuls, big handfuls of spinach. This will all wilt and turn into nothing. And then yeah, that's the last step. Okay, so these are my 3 recipes that are anti-inflammatory, vegan, dairy-free, packed full of nutrients, perfect for someone who wants to start on a healthy journey, healthy lifestyle, easy to make, things that you can make in bulk and have for the rest of the week. Yeah, and it was really fun making this video. I think I filmed all of it in like an hour and a half. But then if you put an hour and a half aside every couple of days to make sure that you've got nutritious meals in the week, then I think that's good. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.